Game number 2 of the day. Well, it's the first game for this series. We have the loser bracket match between Fnatic and the Sandwich Monkeys at the end of the Storm Finals. The winner of this series goes up against TeamLiquid next, so it could be the potential revenge match between Fnatic and TeamLiquid. The two teams faced each other in the winner bracket already, and TeamLiquid was able to take Fnatic down with a 2-0. But Fnatic since then has really stepped up their game, and now in this first game we're going to see how that works out. The patch number is currently 16.2, so Li Ming has already been nerfed quite a bit, and that resulted in her not being picked nor banned in the series that we've seen before this game. And as I said before, Cho'Gall and Murky are two heroes that we have to watch out for today. The Sandwich Monkeys have shown several Cho'Gall games in the past, very successful with the hero, and Fnatic has showed Murky a couple of times. So Cho'Gall is being banned out. Stitch is of course still globally banned because he has a bug on his hook that can cause lag in custom games. And the Sandwich Monkeys in this case now prioritizing Zagara on Dragon Shire over Rhaegar. We've even seen Rhaegar banned out in previous series. He's an amazing hero still. I could see Fnatic go for Rhaegar and maybe even Greymane this early. Whenever they get a chance, they go for Greymane. Not sure if they would really commit to him this early in the draft, but there's always the risk that if they don't take him now, that he's going to be counterbanned. So if they really want to play Greymane, they might have to go for him. And yes, there is that lockdown. I'm liking it. Greymane again. Fnatic is strong with him. Quarknix is an amazing Greymane player. But they switch it around. They think about it. Are they going to go in Muradin instead? That's exactly what I said. Like, they have to really think if they want to have Greymane now, because there's a chance that the Sandwich Monkeys ban him out or pick him away. Fnatic has picked Greymane in every game where they could. And of course, these drafts are also analyzed by the opponent's team. So is it going to... Yes, it's the Muradin. They go for the Muradin instead. I would have loved the Greymane here, but I know that it's a pretty tough choice to make. And let's be honest, there are alternatives to him. Again, I want to highlight that Zagara was taken over Rhaegar in this setup here. And that's mostly because on Dragon Shire, you have with Zagara an amazing hero for this solo lane control, especially at the top. Oftentimes these days we actually see even Chen taken or banned out, and Chen is a lane bully. So he is sometimes taken against the Zagara and is trying to make her life a living hell. In the setup where this playstyle that Fnatic usually uses, I'm not quite sure if you're going to see that. Sandwich Monkeys, they take Sonya, they take Falstad. That Falstad, of course, also catering a little bit to the map itself. You can fly from Shrine to Dragon Knight to Shrine, trying to help out the rest of your team. It's a similar situation of what we had with Falstad like a few months back when Falstad was still like everywhere in the meta. And for now, Fnatic not even banning out. Okay, I guess they are going to try and take Jaina, actually, now looking at the lineup here. I was actually for a moment wondering why they wouldn't ban out Jaina, but then I realized that they have the next 2 picks, so they are probably going to take Jaina themselves. And apparently, they are leading towards ban on ETC or Diablo. I mean, that's the 2 tanks that really synergize the most with Zagara, either more into Apocalypse or more into Moshpit. Both of those variations are very powerful. And Fnatic, they need to make that choice of which one they really want to take. And they go for that ban on ETC instead. I kind of like that. I feel like Diablo is a decent ban. Ah, there's the Murky ban. Yes! The respect ban against Fnatic. Fnatic probably having quite a laugh there. They brought it to a point where Murky is banned out against them. Told you guys, we're going to see Cho'Gall and Murky banned out today. I told you in the series before. Look at it. There we go. The teams have showed great play with these 2 heroes, and now we have both of them banned out. Well, we don't get to see them in play, but it makes for a very interesting draft regardless. Fnatic, they can go Greymane, they can go Jaina. Jaina Greymane would actually be really nice, but then we have to also think about that Tacita. Having Rhaegar Tacita is amazing, and taking Tacita against the Zagara is even better. Picking it away from a Sonya, hell yeah, count me in. So Fnatic right now, they have to make a very tricky choice. Do they go into a Tacita or into that Jaina? But I suppose Jaina it's going to be because, let's face it, going up against the Tacita, yeah, it's a pain. Going up against that Jaina with a Sonya, with a Zagara for a setup, the potential Diablo also, with more into Apocalypse, into Ring of Frost, into Blizzard. Hell no, you don't want to deal with that. So Fnatic goes for Jaina instead. The Sandwich Monkeys, they could go into a Tacita. They love to play Tacita solo support. They do that actually a lot. The alternative would most likely be them using a Charism here. They have still that Diablo available, and they have played that hero a lot. Together with the Sonya, you can definitely play Diablo here. They can play that with a Tacita. They can play that with a Charism if they want to be super safe. Tacita is one of those picks. I would actually lean more to Leoric first of all. So Leoric taken, that helps against Muradin, of course, a little bit with the drain here. But that's an interesting choice with the Leoric and Sonya are now being taken over the potential Diablo. So they are going to rely on Entomb instead. For me personally, that would mean that I would really prefer a Karazim right now over a Tassadar. But knowing the Sandwich Monkeys, they could definitely go into Tassadar here as well. But considering what Fnatic is currently playing, it's a bit tricky. Like Tassadar, you take it away from Fnatic too. If you go into a Karazim, I believe that he has the better heals right now with that Leoric and the Sonya, and they agree. They go into a Karazim, at least it looks like they will. And Fnatic, they can lock down Tassadar now. Unless, of course, they want to play a bit of a different style. I personally would love a Tassadar here, but there are alternatives. Like you can, in this case now, decide, first of all, if you want to rely on Muradin as a solo frontliner. If you do, there's a lot of additional damage that you can take. You could even add a Lunara here, but it might be a bit of overkill. If you want to play a safe frontline and not go into the Tassadar instead, then you can add a second tank, of course. As Zeratul would also be cool. Zeratul is making his way back into the European scene. He was played especially in North America and in the Asian regions a lot, but mostly disregarded in Europe. And we have Zeratul again. Zeratul was played yesterday too. Back then he was actually played, if I'm not mistaken, by Virtus Pro, or was it the Sandwich Monkeys? A little bit fuzzy on that. It was played in a game between Virtus Pro and the Sandwich Monkeys, if I'm not mistaken. And Zeratul right now actually played for Fnatic. So they go for Zeratul with a pressure play against Zagara in particular, but also against the Falstad. They could have played with a Tassadar here. We've seen a lot of Tassadar Rhaegar, and with a Grey main that works too. Oftentimes you played with either a Thrall or you try to play it with an Illidan, but we've also seen it with Grey mains who have then the opportunity to jump in a little bit deeper into the Worgen form and try to really like get that damage in. So Fnatic with a Zeratul here. Murky band, Cho'Gall band as well. I kind of think it's funny. We'll see if that holds through for the entire series, but let's jump into game number 1 on Dragon Shire and find out which team is going to take the lead. The loser bracket match between Fnatic and the Sandwich Monkeys starts on Dragon Shire. To the left side of the map we have Breeze for Fnatic on Muradin. Really liking him on this role a lot more than I like his ETC these days. Shrimpy on Jaina. Quarknix, guess what? Of course he's playing Greymane. What else? Smexy on Rhaegar, and Ethereal Angel. Now that his Murky got denied to him, he is playing Zeratul. To the right side of the map we have ADRD on Zagara for the Sandwich Monkeys. Zarmany on Sonya. Wolfs on Falstad. BKB on Leoric. And Sport Billy on Karazin. Keep in mind that for the Sandwich Monkeys, this is actually the last tournament that they play together. They already announced that they will disband after the tournament. BKB is going to move over to Virtus Pro. But it's pretty cool to actually see them doing this well in their final tournament here. They did not qualify for Blizzard's Spring Championship tournament in Katowice for the finals, and that was the final straw there. But still, in this particular setup, they are doing really well here at the tournament. And if they win against Fnatic, they're in the top 3, which means that they will get quite some prize money. There's 10,000 on the line overall, and it's distributed between the top 3. So this is a really important match for both of these teams. It's the difference of winning nothing or winning at least $1,000. So right now, they're currently looking in terms of builds. Once again at Falstad with Season Marksman. It's going to be the good old auto attack build for him. Boomerang got buffed a little bit, but still nobody really committing to a mage Falstad style. Electric Charge taken. We're seeing the perfect aim. Zeratul going for more of a sustain build right now with the Regeneration Master as the level 1 talent for him, so that he will have that self-sustain when he starts to roam the map. And at this point he's just up at the top, getting a couple of globes in there. Athero is doing quite some work, and Zeratul, of course, pretty strong at this point. He is one of the heroes that we haven't really seen a lot in the European scene for quite some time. He's very popular in North America, even though, of course, after patch changes. But overall, he's a very strong hero in a lot of regions, whereas Europe mostly disregarded him over the last few months. Starting to make his way back a little bit. We've seen him yesterday already, and today he's also being played. So it's going to be a good time for Zeratul players, I feel. At the same time now, though, looking at the rest of the lineup here, and also top lane here. Again, ADRD, and a little bit of pressure. Zagara in particular is of course one of the heroes that has to be a bit careful now going up against Zeratul. Zeratul will try to take either Zagara down or go instead for Falstad. It's the two squishies in the backline that he's going to really try and focus on. And for Athero, it's going to be super important to make sure that he's getting those kills in later. The more you pressure those squishies, the more reluctant they are going to be to really like go deep and do the damage. For now, Quarknix is in the mid lane, still dealing with Leoric, so the teams are just like aiming for experience. There's nothing too crazy happening right now with the rotations. It's just like solid control over a shrine each, making sure that nobody can get a Dragon Knight. Hardened Bones now taken on level 4. The Healing Ward. We're seeing Sonya also immediately with that focus attack and the Envenomed Spines now for Zagara. And the Vorpal Blade. This is an amazing talent where you can really dish out additional damage against any kind of squishy. AD against the Thero already up at the top. Thero has to move away, blinks away. No Vorpal Blade used just yet, doesn't want to be that aggressive. We have still in the mid lane now the chance to go for Dragonite. Quacknix is incredibly low and, well, he is down. So the Ragdoll already throwing away. Double kill against Zagara and against Karazim though. And the channel at the top was too late. Breeze was trying to go for it, but the Dragonite has been claimed. BKB is very unlikely to get a lot of value out of the Dragonite now though, since we still have 2 heroes down for them. So he needs to wait a bit longer. He's still in the mid lane here. Did not go straight for the towers. Waits for the wave to come in with him. And now Smexy and Breeze are trying to take care of it. At the top lane, Sonya is soaking the experience. So very important here that we see Fnatic still with a hero on each lane to soak experience, and only 3 are currently committed to the Dragonite defense. But so far the only thing that BKB got was 1 tower. He's probably going to be able to take the second one down as well now that Zagara is back, and of course Karazin as well. But not really going to be threatening anything else. Dragonite for another 8 seconds, so it's a very early Dragonite, a bit low still. They're scaling of course over time, so that's the chance when they will be able to do a bit more damage with that objective. But we have even a lead in experience, just slightly on the side of Fnatic now. So they are running it with a Piercing Bolt. We have now probably, well, actually, like, it's either Frostbitten or the Ice Shots, I suppose, that we're going to see on Jaina. Depends a bit. Chris, for example, really likes to go for Ice Shots when he plays Jaina for TeamLiquid. And that's what we're, or the Ice Lands, that's what we're seeing here as well. The cooldown reduction on the Frostbolt for the additional poke. And in this case, Fnatic is doing exactly the same move. Rhaegar with a cleanse, and we have a follow-through taken for Zeratul. Of course, for Zeratul, it's also going to be really interesting that Rhaegar is part of the composition, so that Lightning Shield can really help with additional damage there. Sustain on Leoric with the Osson's Renewal, so neither going into the Ghastly Reach nor the Paralyzing Rage, which would have been the alternative talents on level 7. Endless Creep taken now as well for Zagara, so vision on the map is going to be important for them. But look at the experience. I mean, both of the teams still really trying to just go to level 10. It's nobody really overcommits here. As I said before, it's an incredibly important series for both of them. It's literally the question of winning $1,000 at least, or winning nothing at all. So in this case now, we are having both of them playing super cautious. We have BKB in the mid lane once again, soaking the experience. And with the setup that they're running here, especially level 10 is of course going to be quite strong for Team Fnatic, since they have that Void Prison and can isolate heroes then. Talking about isolating heroes, Sport Billy is rather low. Thero used the Vorpal Blades. That's actually like a really cool talent if you're trying to just like stick to a hero that has something like a dash, or of course in the case of Falstad, a barrel roll. So with that talent, like this is, I need to show the case that again, in case that you're not really familiar with it. Vorpal Blades activate, allows you to just like activate to a hero, to jump to a hero within 3 seconds that you're auto-attacked. So this is going to be incredibly important to just like keep tabs on a hero like Falstad during the fights, or even a hero like, well, first of all, of course, Karazin, but it could also be Zagara later on in the game after Ball of the Storm. So that is going to be really difficult for the Sandwich Monkeys to handle in the later stage of the game, of course, that is. Yeah, well, Schwimpy with a lot of trouble here. Yeah, Schwimpy down. Didn't really see that coming. He had no idea that Leoric was there as well, you could tell. So yeah, Schwimpy is down, Force is now flying in too, but the Sandwich Monkeys are locking down the second kill. So it's 2 kills for 2 kills. Zagara up here, still in a bit of trouble, using a decent more though, and Thero is already on Falstad. Quacknix has to move away. Nice double stun by Breeze, helping out his teammates to make sure that Quacknix is able to retreat. But the teams are now both on level 10s, and we still don't have a talent taken for Jaina, but we already have Go for the Throat. We have also the Void Prison taken. Once more we see the Leoric talent to entomb people, to just like lock them down. And Entomb plus Mighty Gust can of course be quite nice. Entomb a hero, Mighty Gust, push the hero deeper into the Entomb and push the rest of the team away. And then you can really go for that kill. Sonya doing Sonya things and trying at the bot lane to get another camp. Zarmini already on it with a quick whirlwind, but they also have control over both of the shrines now. Wolves, on the other hand, is being attacked. Mighty Gust against Quacknix, and Breeze moves away. Mid lane has been defended against by Zeratul and Jaina, and now Smexy and his boys at the bot lane are able to claim the last few of the temples here, at least one of them. At the top lane, Zeratul is still waiting for a chance to go up against AD. Here comes that Yeah, that's Hydralisk once again. ADRE, by the way, I want to highlight it also, has changed his build a little bit. This time it's the Endless Creep, catering a bit to the needs of Dragon Shire in particular, and him, of course, trying to be safe on the top lane. Usually with ADRE, his preferred talent on level 7 is definitely the Reconstitution, which is incredibly powerful to have the lane sustain here. Both of the shrines under their control. Athero starts to move in. ADRE is there. Oh, Singularity Spike actually misses. That's a problem for Athero. Has to move away again. And that puts Fnatic into a tricky spot since they have to defend the mid lane again. And once more, there it is. And Tomb, Smexy heals himself, but he still dies. Was trying to move away there. The Ancestral Healing actually for a moment gave him the chance to escape, but then Sonya jumped into the fight too and dropped that spear and also the slam. So yeah, great job on the side of the Sandwich Monkeys. And they are really starting to get ahead in this game now. Level 12.5 versus level 12, so half a level and the potential second Dragonite. Zagara, then again, still low, but good job by ADRD, always on top with those Maws. Mid lane attempt to go for the Dragonite, not going to be successful. Nice interrupt by Breeze, and by now Quarknix had the chance to get the Shrine up at the top lane. So a pretty back and forth game that we're seeing between the two teams, but overall Sandwich Monkeys, they seem to just like coordinate a bit better at this point. Athero Angel on the other hand is going to be a menace, especially in the late game when he gets his extra talents. And let's not just even talk about Quarknix, who's going to get a lot of damage in. I mean, that constant poke with a cocktail is going to help out in sustained fights later on in the game. Level 13 talents are now going to come into play as well. Once again, a bit faster for the Sandwich Monkeys, who are already fighting for the Shrine at the bot lane again. Here it is, level 13 is ready. Giant Killer any moment now for Falstad so that he can drop Muradin's hit points even faster. We're seeing, in addition to that, the Crushing Hope taken. Another threat against Muradin. Yeah, already. Athero up at the top, but has to be moving away again. Zeratul actually like laning for a long time during this match. Zeratul has been forced to lane quite a bit over the duration of this game so far, and we currently have him on 16 of those Regeneration Master stacks, so he has quite a bit of, has 24 regeneration per second. We have also 22 extra damage on Falstad already, and when we're talking about a hero like Leoric, he's currently at 21 reanimation stacks. So overall, the hero's doing a pretty solid job with all of that. Zarmini jumping away again, needs to go for another camp. I really like the way that the Sandwich Monkeys are currently trying to solve this. They are the ones who every now and then go for camp thanks to Sonya, and usually Leoric is trying to help out if he can. But with that, they are able to put extra pressure on lanes. Of course, when they start with it, they start to lose one of their shrines, but it's always the problem that they can't really do anything in the mid lane anyways to get the Dragonite. Every single time Fnatic is ready and is meeting their rotation with at least 2 heroes to make sure that they are getting that. Nice Entomb once again. Athero is down. Shrimpy is also very low, but they go for the kill on Zeratul first. But now they have a camp pushing the top lane. They're gonna get this particular shrine, and then they can move down to the mid lane and the bot lane and try to go for another Dragonite. So them taking these mercenaries on the map every now and then is really working out. And Zarmini is of course predestined to actually do that. I mean, Sonya is one of the best heroes to accomplish that goal, Illidan another one. But now we have Shrimpy and Quarknix starting to move back, and they already know that they need some lane presence again. They need to go back on lane, because any moment now we're going to see the bot shrine taken. Breeze at the top lane is having a very tough time against Zarmini on his Sonya. And the level 13 talents with the On the Prowl are also now in play with the Tidal Waves and the Wormhole. Especially Zeratul is of course now very, very mobile. Dragonite not channeled in time by BKB. Instead we had Breeze taking the shrine away at the top, and they have 5 heroes again on the map. But you can really tell it's a very tricky spot for Fnatic. The pressure, it feels like, is more on them than it is on the Sandwich Monkeys. Fnatic right now, they need to try and really just like go maybe for a kill. I mean, at this point they have a Athero Angel. Quarknix is starting to move in as well. Could start with a Void Prism here. Jumps in, Wormholes out again. Yeah, well, and in this case, there's always, of course, the Warple Blades to be considered as well. It's one of the cool things when you have Wormhole, then that with Warple Blades, you're incredibly mobile in these fights, that you can really just like dance around the opponent. But both of the teams are still fighting on eye level here. In this first game of the best of 3 series, by the way. So BKB again with the attempt to go for the channel. Top has already been secured. And here comes Breeze now. It's a 5 versus 4 at the bot lane. Athero Angel jumped in for a bit of extra damage now too. At level 16, any moment now for the Sandwich Monkeys. The earlier talent that they are going to get again. Can they capitalize on it? Can they get someone into the mid lane to get the Dragon Knight? Fnatic is already on their way. They realize that they have to do something about it, but they are still away from level 16. There's Zarmany. They try to zone. Mighty Gust being used, and that is Dragon Knight for the Sandwich Monkeys once again. At least it should be. Got actually interrupted or canceled for a moment. There's the Dragon Knight, and that's the second one in the game for them right now. Circle of Life has been taken for Charism. Hammer Time again for Falstad. Nerves of Steel for Sonya. And we see them on 16 now also with the Brood expansion for Zagara. But the 16 talent is finally ready for the opponent as well. And we are seeing the Rending Cleave, Rising Storm, Concentrated Blast, at the same time also the Stonefall. Numbing Blast for Northern Exposure. The question here, of course, for Jaina. Once again, the punt. Zeratul jumping into the backline, and it is the Numbing Blast. Numbing Blast taken by Jaina here now. So she goes fit. The fourth eliminated. Slight experience lead now for Na'Vi, but really not as much as you would maybe think. Look at the damage here also. Zeratul is at 19,000. Greymane, of course, 29k. Very solid here once again. The cocktail build just like spamming it out. We're seeing him also on 104,000 siege damage. But if you take a closer look at the damage output of the red team, then we have Zagara with 25k here. And Sonya and Falstad at a solid 20k each so far. So doing solid work here with the numbers as well. But overall, none of these teams really able to just like force a massive advantage or anything. The Sandwich Monkeys are always a little bit ahead of Fnatic, but it's not getting to an extent where they can really just like get a dominant position in the game just yet. 16 versus 17 now. Again, Zeratul going for Zarmany here. Jumping in, jumping out. Falstad flying across the map, pushing waves. Very cautious game here once again. And Quarknix and Breeze, they are attempting to go for one of those steals now. So they attempt to steal the Mercamp away. Could actually work out for them here. I mean, Falstad is still at the top, and it feels like he's not going to fly down for this one. But Zeratul is also missing, so it's at this point, yeah, they get the camp. As apparently Sandwich Monkeys say, okay, we don't want to risk that. They just simply like take the Siege Giants out once they were taken, so they don't try to overcommit to anything here. And Zeratul is still lying away. He wants to go for Wolves. He jumps in, and he might get him. Vorpal Blades! Nah, he's in the middle of the towers. Eats a lot of damage, but he can't go for that final hit. So, once again, Falstad survives. The bot lane is under a lot of pressure now, though. And with, again, Fnatic moving in, they get their towers. And with all the structures they are now suddenly starting to take down, they really close that gap in experience that we see between the two teams. It's all really about the positioning in these fights. I mean, think about Zeratul, for example. We haven't really seen a lot of Void Prisons there, but if he's able to just like isolate the backline, maybe the healer, then they can go and try and get one kill at the rest of them, especially, of course, with the potential lockdown on Muradin and Stormbolt. So that's what they have to try and focus on. They have 5 heroes at the bot lane now. If Thero is there, if he can jump in, isolate the backline, and then go for a kill, it would be great, of course, since Falstad is still missing. Falstad is taking the top shrine in the meantime, but the bottom has been claimed by Fnatic. Fnatic now still slightly behind, but we have 18 versus 18. And again, the poke with the cocktail. The most important part for Quarknix, really. Stay safe, stay in the back, get that cocktail in over and over again. The explosions, they shot a bit of damage and really whittle away at those hit points. Again, the Stormbolt, 3 damage against Leoric, that helps. But the top lane is being pressured now again, since there is a massive camp starting to move in for the Sandwich Monkeys. Overall, a very, very tense game here. Not a lot of kills, 4 against 2, but this might change right now. Zeratul is moving in. Breeze about to fall, dying mid-air as he's about to be healed by the Ancestral Healing. BKB is missing the Entomb. They're trying to go for it. Zeratul actually hiding down here. He wants to go for Falstad. If he can go in for a kill against Falstad, he's looking for it, and he gets it. He goes in, takes Falstad down, can still jump away, or can he? No, he can't. He's trying to. He was about to jump out, but the cooldown wasn't ready yet. No rapid displacement on level 1. Instead, the Regeneration Master, which of course helps him a lot. But here comes the Maw, and 2 heroes are completely trapped, and this is not looking good. The Skeleton Swing comes in. Sport Billy with a palm here, saving himself. Schwimpy is down. Good damage against Harmony and Sport Billy, but not enough to drop them. 3 kills for the Sandwich Monkeys, and that fort at the top lane that we've been talking about earlier is already gone thanks to the camp that has been pushing the top, and it's going to be Dragon Knight number 3 now for the Sandwich Monkeys. The Monkeys are on the move, and they have level 20 now as well, with a double hardened shield here as Breeze pauses the game. We're seeing them with the Ignore Pain, so the version of Sonya for the Hardened Shield. We're having Bolt of the Storm for Zagara, and we're seeing the Epic Mount plus also the Storm Shield. Taking a closer look at the damage, you can already tell that we have overall Zagara still with most of the damage output. Zeratul with 32,000. And I mean, Zeratul's damage was actually like pretty solid so far, and he had good kills also against especially Falsa in that last fight, even though he was not able to get away here. But 140,000 siege damage on Greymane and 49,000 damage here for him as well. Falset, by the way, we were talking about him, still down here, has, in terms of like season marksman stacks, taken quite a few here over the duration of this game. So we're going to take a closer look at that as well. But first of all, we have reanimation stacks for Leoric with 37. So he has currently hit point regeneration of 55 hit points per second, which is actually like very strong for him. We're seeing Smexy, by the way. He's going to deal with this quite easily, but this is really the important, difficult push that they have to deal with right now, and the one that's going to hurt. So they're starting to move straight through the middle, trying to go for the kill here against the first keep of the game, and they have all the cards in their hands. The Dragon Knight, the level 20 advantage. Falsa can fly in once that he's back, and he's going to be back right now. We have him with 37x. Oh, trying to go for Quarknix here. Quarknix gets away just barely. But yeah, Fawcett is on 37 extra damage with Seasoned Marksman at this point. So he's really starting to put the single target damage in that is threatening Breeze in particular because of that level 13 talent Giant Killer. Again, this is going to be a keep, like there's no doubt about that, and Fnatic is scrambling to just get somehow enough experience to hit level 20 and fight on eye level once again. Zarmony is on the way back, they put free damage on the Dragon Knight, but yeah, I don't really think that he expected to do any more than take down the keep in the middle, and that alone is already, of course, a huge success here for them. With that extra damage on Falstad, with also, of course, now at the same time Zeratul, by the way, with 28 Seasoned Marksman stacks, trying to go in. We're seeing especially, yeah, I think especially like Falstad is going to be the big target of Zeratul at this point. Zeratul is going to try to just like leech onto him and take him down, because Breeze is going to be under so much pressure every single time that Falstad can do whatever he wants. And it's always going to depend on the setup here in those team fights. If the front line can peel enough for Falstad to just like dish out the auto attacks, then Muradin is going to have a nightmare in every single fight that he starts, because, well, he won't be able to survive for long over there. We've seen that in that last fight where we even saw that attempt at heal. It just didn't work out because it was a bit too late. Zarmony with a flank attempt here, going for Smexy. They try to go for the kill, and at the same time the camp, yes, has been claimed, but still, can they go for it? There comes a Thero, nice in the back line, making sure that not everybody can participate in the fight, and of course to move away there too, but ADRD is still able to escape, at least for now. And well, overall, we're still looking at a disengage from Fnatic, so they were able to take the camp and get away, which was the important part. NaVi for a moment was looking to fight. Zeratul still in the mid lane, by the way. Level 20 talents are now ready for both of the teams. And in this case, we're seeing the Hunter's Blunderbuss. Double rewind taken on Rhaegar and also Zeratul. So Zeratul now in a very cool spot. Zeratul has super strong mobility now, with him just like bouncing around thanks to the blink and on reset on the cooldown. Ethereal Angel tries to go for Wolves, he sees if he can do something. Nice move by ADRD with the Banelings here, right into the bush, seeing where Zeratul is. I mean, Zeratul of course has the mobility, but still, if they can focus him for just a moment, he's going to be dead, and they know that too. Look at Breeze losing hit points to Wolves. This is the problem with Falsa this late in the game. Ethereal healed by the Ancestral Healing means that it's missing for Breeze, and Tomb used against now also Jaina. They try to go for the kill. Great Bolt of the Storm here, saving Jaina for now. Schwimpy is gone. Breeze and Quarknix, they all have to run away here. They are all so low, and Ethereal is jumping away now too. Great fight for NaVi. Once again, they're dominant, but a good escape for Fnatic actually. That disengage was not easy. They were about to lose heroes here, and Falstad is really starting to rack up the numbers. I mean, overall, we are having more damage on Leoric, thanks of course to the drain on the hit point heavy frontliner Muradin, but also Zagara with 56,000. But if you think about that single target damage that the bird is currently dishing out here, I mean, yeah, 43 damage already, additional damage on Wolves against single targets with his auto attacks, which is absolutely insane right now. Overall, when it comes to hero damage though, it's still the 86,000 on the Greymane that are dominant, mostly of course because of that cocktail. He's trying to jump in for those fights, but this is really the moment when Fnatic, they have to make a move. They can't allow another Dragon Knight. We're 20 minutes into the game, and this is just like too late to allow Dragon Knight number 4 for the Sandwich Monkeys. Already Zeratul on this way up to the top, but they need to somehow take Falstad out. The front line, of course, is super strong as well. I mean, with BKB zoning and also Sonya being such a huge nuisance, it's really difficult for Fnatic to make any kind of coordinated setup. But if they can use that Void Prism properly, that might be all that they need. Again, Zeratul dashing in, dashing out. Ethereal was jumping in once more with the Warple Blades, rewinding and moving out again. But that damage on Wolves with this Falstad is only increasing. He's hitting hard, he's hitting like a truck. Look at Breeze. Breeze is so close to dying, but they are pushing Navi back now. Breeze, with that lightning shield that he had thanks to Smexy, was actually doing a lot of damage here. Was able to level, of course, the entire Navi setup back, and most of them had to well up. And by now, a few structures of Navi are starting to fall as well. Talking about a few structures, so far, Fnatic has not taken down a single fort. Just saying. This might be the first one up here. They're going for the Dragon Knight, but of course Navi is ready. They have everybody in the middle now too, and this is going to be another 5 versus 5. But if Fnatic wins, if they take this fight, they have a chance to actually turn this game around. Their slate, Dragon Knight, is doing a lot of damage, and if they can kill a few heroes and then get the DK, that would be great. Top fort, by the way, has been eliminated. The wave has taken it down. Sonya is currently claiming the bottom shrine here, and we're seeing up in the middle, again, the attack against Wolves. So Sport Billy is there with the heals every single time. Karazim is there, dashing in, dashing out, healing ward, having that Echo of Heaven and Circle of Life in play, making sure that he gets the healing numbers. And in experience, Navi is still slightly ahead, but once again, the battle is starting. Top wave is still being pushed, but the towers are going to take care of that. And Ethereal is dancing that dance on the edge of the fight. Always moving in a little bit. Breeze with a stone form already. They try to go for the bird. The ancestral healing is there. Wolves is very low. Ethereal jumps in. He wants to go for the kill. The palm is not triggered. Didn't trigger the palm. He could try and go in again, but it's Zeratul who dies first. Wolves is still alive. 49 damage now. 49 extra damage on his auto attacks. It's really getting out of control. And the damage numbers, they're just rising and rising. And now with the 5 versus 4 situation and Zeratul already gone, Falstad is doing his thing. He's flying to the top. They want to get that Dragon Knight, and it would potentially end the game. BKB is already there. Now they have it. Breeze. Karazim is down. 4 versus 4, but everybody low. Quacknix with a kill against Karazim. Maybe now the chance, but already the Maw. And the move against Schwimpy. Schwimpy bolting away. Smexy now there. It's completely isolated. Did not see Wolves coming. And this is now Zarmany going for the Dragon Knight. And this could end the game. The Sandwich Monkeys, they're starting to move towards the right side of the map. What a game once again. The Sandwich Monkeys, after they announced that they would disband, they play better than ever. Breeze already there, trying to just like push maybe ADRD back, buy a bit of time. But now the Entomb is forcing Quacknix to engage in. Falstad is down, but the Dragon Knight has all the time in the world to go for the kill. And a great Void Prism by Ethereal Angel, who just comes back, buys them a bit more time. Zarmany rushing around that core. Schwimpy is very low. They try to somehow take that Dragon Knight down, but how can they really pull that off? ADRD is low. There comes the Warple Blades, and he's down, but it does not matter anymore. The Dragon Knight, together with BKB and those catapults, is going to finish what they started. This game is over. GG and Navi, they take the first game in the best of 3 series here in the loser bracket at the end of the Storm Finals. Alright guys, game number 2 is starting. Once again, apologies. I actually called the Sandwich Monkeys Navi more than once in the last game, as I then realized a bit later. It's the European kindergarten. I mean, some of these teams actually switch their players more often than I switch my underwear. It's really time for some consistency, but I really hope that the teams that are going to, well, at least Katowice, will show a little bit more consistency with their rosters. Especially Zarmany has basically jumped from like one team to another and like helped out as sub on a lot of those teams. So at the end I was pretty focused on him and dropping that Navi a little bit too often. My apologies for that. The Sandwich Monkeys, of course, in the lead now against Fnatic here. And yeah, we have Murky banned out right away. Fnatic has played with Murky a couple of times already, and therefore the Sandwich Monkeys, they don't really want to risk going up against that, especially since Sky Temple is the map where Fnatic has played Murky several times. That's why we have now an immediate ban on Murky. This is not a troll ban. I know that if you haven't seen those games, you are probably just looking at the draft right now and you're just like, what's going on? Why is Murky banned first? But it's actually a very serious ban, since Fnatic has showed very annoying playstyles on Sky Temple. The Sandwich Monkeys now with a false stat, first of all, after Rega was currently banned. We're having a Sonya ban for Fnatic as well. It's actually interesting to see that Thrall and Zagara are still both available at this point. Falset, of course, is a great hero to have on this map in particular. And there is, yes, there's the Thrall. Okay, so Thrall already taken. I would still expect Fnatic to go for Zagara here, since she's extremely strong on the bot lane. Tassadar already taken, so that's the Rega-Tassadar combination that we kind of expected a little bit in the last game already, but that also would allow them to not go for Zagara. She's still incredibly powerful, and Fnatic hasn't really locked down Tassadar just yet, but you could go for both, or you could just say, like, he's strong enough to play against her. But they switch it over to Jaina, and, well, the fight for Jaina has been very, very strong the last few days. By the way, that joke with the European kindergarten, there's actually, like, a picture that someone made. I don't know where exactly it is. Maybe my mods can look it up, but there's, like, a picture that someone made where he just, like, he basically put into a graphic all the roster changes that we had for the top European teams, and it was utter chaos. It was so funny. It was like maybe like 2 or 3 weeks back, so you didn't even catch like the latest changes, but it showed really that, like, it showed very easily that we need a little bit more consistency in the scene, and I really hope that with the tournaments that Blizzard now introduced this year with the Spring Championship and also like tournaments with like the End of the Storm here, we are going to get that consistency in teams. So that's going to be pretty cool. I feel that's definitely going to help the esports scene in Europe and in all the other regions to grow as well. But yeah. That being said, we have Muradin plus Jaina locked down. So there's still that Tassadar and the Zagara that you have to really think about. But Fnatic, they looked at Jaina, and Jaina is so powerful these days that she's not quite a first pick yet, but she's definitely like one of those picks that you don't want to give up. Especially if your opponent is threatening a bit of burst. So Muradin as a setup with a stun, him, of course, again, a great tank for Fnatic at the front. We've seen that in the last game, even though in the end Muradin was not strong enough to keep the rest safe. Rega as a great healer. And for the Sandwich Monkeys, now of course a question of what to ban out. Personally, I would ban Greymane, since the Sandwich Monkeys should know that Fnatic really loves to play Greymane. You can also ban that Tassadar, but in the case of the Sandwich Monkeys, they could play with Tassadar themselves. So I would probably just like rather move to a pick on Tassadar, ban out Greymane, but they ban Illidan. They seem to be a little bit afraid of Fnatic going into a Rega-Tassadar combo. I'm curious to see if Sandwich Monkeys are banning Illidan out only because of that Rega. Or if they really don't want to pick Tassadar and think that Fnatic could, as their last picks, take both of them. Fnatic is thinking about a Zagara here. I feel Zagara would be a solid ban. Other good bans for them right now, I feel. They could still... Could we see a Cho'Gall here? I don't really think so. The problem with like picking a Cho'Gall on this map is that on Sky Temple, if you have double temple phases, you are very, very unflexible. Cho'Gall, of course, one of the heroes that the Sandwich Monkeys played a lot. They played mostly on maps like Infernal Shrines, like, for example, Tomb of the Spider Queen. And on those, like, smaller maps where you have only objectives that activate on one particular point on the map, it's a little bit easier to play with the Cho'Gall. But if you go for the Sky Temple, then it's a little bit trickier. Greymane picked away. Okay, that explains the no ban on Greymane. That makes sense. Still the question, do they go for a Tassadar, yes or no? We have Sonya banned, we have Thrall taken and Illidan banned as well. That doesn't really leave a melee assassin besides Zeratul anymore. So if Fnatic really wants to go for a Tassadar composition with Rega, Tassadar plus X, they could use that Zeratul still, or they can go for a bit of additional range damage that is still available here. But the Sandwich Monkeys, they have to make their next choice, and I suppose that we could see an ETC maybe again here. There's a couple of course, options that they have when it comes to the front line. They still need a healer as well. It's unlikely that Fnatic is going to lock down a Kharazim, so I feel the Sandwich Monkeys could wait with a Kharazim for the last pick. But they actually take him now. They take him right away. And yeah, let's see how that's going to work. Okay, so there's a Kharazim picked already. I don't think that Fnatic would have picked the Kharazim, so the Sandwich Monkeys could have waited, but apparently they want to adapt with their tank to what Fnatic does right now. And as a tank, I suppose that we could still see a Johanna, we could see an ETC, we could also see, I suppose, Diablo. Oh, Abathur! Fnatic is pulling a bit of a TeamLiquid here, who has started to play Abathur again. And with that, we have the potential for a double Jaina. We've seen double Rega as well, by the way. And Abathur on this map has actually been played a lot. Abathur Zeratul, oh my god. What a douche comp! It's like, back in the day, the most annoying comp to go up against was Abathur, Brightwing, Zeratul. The reason is actually quite simple. Zeratul moves somewhere on the map behind a target and he sees someone on the lane, like very much alone, right? Brightwing would teleport in, immediately pull him off the target, and at the same time you see Abathur with a symbiote jump on Zeratul, and then you just burst the target away. So you suddenly end up in a 1 versus 3 situation with never even seeing any of these guys approach. We don't have that Brightwing in here, and it's going to be Abathur plus Zeratul, but that alone is already very, very annoying. And of course, a copy on Zeratul can really, really start to pressure that backline. The Sandwich Monkeys, therefore, with a pretty smart move to wait with that tank, actually, because now they can make an adjustment and they can go for Johanna, which is going to make it a bit easier to keep that backline safe. Think about Zeratul jumping in. Johanna can use the shield glare to just like affect Zeratul with the auto attacks, and we still have her with the condemn there too. So pretty solid draft here. I'm really liking Fnatic because I love to see that Abathur Zeratul coming into play, but the Sandwich Monkeys, they have a smart draft and I like the strength of it. They rely, as does Fnatic, on a solo tank currently. Solid supports for both of the teams, and especially the one problem that I feel the Sandwich Monkeys have a little bit is they don't have a lot of synergy with the Thrall Sundering. Usually you go for an Apocalypse or a Mosh Pit to have some like stun into stun lock, but that's something that the Sandwich Monkeys gave up with the pick on Johanna, but it's still an overall solid lineup for them. But I really like what Fnatic is drafting here. So guys, game number 2, we're going to jump in and find out who's going to take it, Fnatic or the Sandwich Monkeys. Game number 2 is starting up, and well, we have currently on Sky Temple Fnatic to the left side and down 1 game in the best of 3 series here. They are not going up against NaVi. They might go up against NaVi if they are able to win 2 games in a row and make it all the way to the grand final, but they go up against the Sandwich Monkeys. Alright, so to the right side of the map we have the Sandwich Monkeys, we see ADRD on Falstad, we have Wolves on Greymane, Sport Billy on Karazim, BKB on Johanna, and Zarmony on Thrall. And to the left side it is Fnatic with Breeze on Muradin, Aethera Angel again on Zeratul, we're seeing Quacknix on Jaina, Abathur on Shrimpy, and Smexy is playing Rega here. So well, for now we have on Abathur already the Envenom Nest taken, and well, let me take a quick look at those talents. Nothing really too fancy. Again, sorry. Oh, hiccups. Wow, that timing. That timing. Yeah, again, Zeratul with the Regeneration Master. Electric Charge also for Rega. Chain Lightning build for Thrall. Pretty much what you would expect. So once again, talk a little bit about the Abathur composition overall. Abathur, as you already know, can soak experience either with his body or with Symbiote. It's going to be important for him. And he will, of course, in the early game be a bit of a liability in the sense that he has no body that you can really use to just like soak a temple or anything. But with a body at the bot lane, he can later on try and soak a bit of experience for his team. So we are going to find him at the bot lane and later switching up to the top before the second temple phase is activated at the bottom of the map. So that's going to happen. For now, we're seeing up to the top lane only Rega going up against Wolves and Sport Billy. Whoa, Johanna taken down. What? Johanna apparently, yeah, dying over there. That was a bit early. Aethera and Quacknix against an early Johanna kill. That is an interesting one. Usually Johanna is one of the few heroes that you can't take down in the early game, but in this case, apparently VKP did not see that coming. Breeze and ADRD are still fighting it out at the bot lane, and Abathur is still ready to take over with experience once that ADRD leaves the lane. He might actually stay when he sees that Abathur is moving out. Top Temple is already taken, Smexy is there, Sport Billy is in position, we have Wolves now also starting to move over, making this a 2 versus 1, so we are going to end up with a quick exchange between temples here simply. We're having for now Breeze and Quacknix in position. Zeratul also moving down, and Shrimpy can help out with the symbiote, goes for it, and oh! ADRD flies in super low and has immediately to barrel too well. But that's exactly what I've been talking about in the draft. Zeratul moves onto a lane, he gets a symbiote hat, and then immediately the jump. And Aethera gets the kill. This time he moves in and gets that kill after all. Great play here. Level 4, Warple Blades once again. Oh, nice counter kill here against Muradin. And immediately we see the dash on Karazim. I love that Karazim, by the way, adjusted his build. Look at what they're doing right now. They're up against the Zeratul and they adjust on level 4. Foresight taken, so they have the reveal on the dash. Cool talent to take. You oftentimes see that against stealthies, and in this case, of course, it works really well. In the case of the battle, like we saw, especially like Thrall getting very low after he took down Muradin, and then Karazim knew, of course, that Zeratul would be looking to finish him off, so he dashes in, reveals him, they can push him back. Very well played here. Prolific Dispersal has been the talent that we've seen mostly from Abathur players, at least from Shad, in the games that he played against earlier on TeamLiquid. So I'm a bit curious to see if Shrimpy goes for the exact same build. And we have him in this case with exactly that talent. So getting those extra charges out is going to be great. Arcane Intellect has once again been taken now as well for Jaina, so going a bit old school here with the Warple Blade now too. At the top lane, again, only Smexy. Abathur is going to soon take over at the top lane for the soak, especially when the next temple is going to be activated. Shrimpy with the Pajama Thor down here at the bottom, and we have once more just like trying to soak these lanes a little bit with Breeze and Ethereal both waiting for a chance to take someone down. But there's a camp now being taken, so an entire rotation happening, and currently it looks a bit like the Sandwich Monkeys are looking for strength in numbers. Every time they move out, they're just simply going straight onto one of these lanes and are saying like, alright, we're going to move with 2, with 3, with 4, make sure that Zeratul does not get an opportunity to make any plays here in the early game. Cooldown reduction build again on Jaina, going straight into that Iceland's talent on level 7, and we have the Vile Nest now completing, at least for now, the Toxic Nest build for Abathur. So one of the questions is going to be, what is Abathur going to choose on 13 and 16? You can either go for pressure play against structures with focusing on the locusts, or you can go for your symbiote and just like try to keep heroes alive with that life leech on 13 and then also the slow on 16, which for Zeratul would of course be great if he wants to hunt somebody down. The level 7 talents, not really a big surprise on level 7 here now for the Sandwich Monkeys. We are seeing them actually with follow through. We are also like having the Elixir taken and the Echo of Heaven. Currently Quarknix and Breeze are trying to get a few of these towers down, and the more you can actually drop at the beginning before the temple is activated, the faster the well is taken down by the temple or maybe even by your team before the temple phase starts, and that gives you great sustain for the fight. So these attacks that we're seeing right now from Fnatic, they're super important. It's really important. They get everything here. If they get just a couple of temple shots, they will go through the tower and through the well, and that will more or less deny the entire temple to the Sandwich Monkeys, and they know that too. They have to go in, but the well is down, and that is a horrible position for them. Abathur, by the way, has not taken over the top lane. Ethereal Angel is currently waiting for ADRD to start and make his way down to the bottom. He's really patiently waiting for his chance and having them moving in right now, and here comes the attack. ADRD attacked, and whoa, it's gonna be close, but Falstad is down. Even without the help of Abathur, the bird is wrecked. But now down to the bot lane is of course a 4 versus more or less 3. Abathur doesn't have a body in play, but he has that symbiote ready and has taken over the soak at the top lane, as you can see here. Shrimpy is getting the experience and he's helping out at the bottom, but Zeratul now starting to move in. Level 9 versus level 8, a nice lead for Fnatic. Really starting to make some plays here. Abathur is working out quite nicely for them. Falstad actually moving to the top. He could try and fly in to take down Abathur, and it seems very much like that's what he's going to do here. Yes, flies in immediately, and goodbye Shrimpy. Shrimpy dying, nice kill. ADRD with that kill up at the top, and now the level 10 abilities that we have for Fnatic. So the Sandwich Monkeys with a couple of decent kills here, at least that move up at the top lane was pretty sweet. We have ADRD now in a position where he can just simply force that fort down. We're also having now access to the Void Prison, some Water Elemental, the Ultimate Evolution, Ancestral Healing. Oh, ADRD, yeah. Tries to go into the minion wave so that there's no chance of actually him dying to a Stormbolt. And now he can just like simply fly back. For the throw, it has been chosen for Greymane. You see the Palm again for Charism. And Mighty Gust plus Sundering and Blast Shield. So level 10 versus level 10. From a structural point of view, it is still a slight advantage for Fnatic. But Fnatic, of course, they have to be kind of careful here. The cool thing for them is that they have now the opportunity to go into double Zeratul, double Jaina. That really helps them. Sometimes we've even seen double Rhaegas being played depending on the situation if you really need the sustain. But having a double Zeratul, of course, jumping on a hero like Falstad is going to put him under so much pressure that he won't be able to dish any damage out. The same goes for Greymane here. Camp cannot be stolen, but they get a bit of the extra damage in against Johanna, and of course that's already a bit of a small win in itself. The Sandwich Monkeys now level 11 as well. Both of the teams looking for an opportunity to push something here. And Abathur, of course, still attempting to make sure that he gets the extra experience for his team. So far, doing a solid job, with the exception, of course, of ADRD taking him down a bit earlier. But it's going to be, and again, very far out here. He needs to be careful. ADRD doesn't see him yet. But if one of those minions gets a bit too close, there's going to be another attempt to take Abathur down. The slug alert is real. Breeze, Smexy, and Quacknix, they have to, of course, now make a choice of temples. There's 2 temples already available. The boss as well. So if your opponent, for example, like dedicates a lot of heroes to the top lane to try and take the temple, you can always try to go for a boss as well. But it's very unlikely that we're going to see that happening. Usually in competitive play, you see pretty much a lot of map awareness. Fight down here at the bottom. BKB starting to move in. Zeratul jumps out, but we have the attack against Jaina and against Rhaegar. Great kills. The Sandwich Monkeys. Oh my god, beautiful engage here. And a great Sundering that has been used. Nice palm on Wolves as well. Athero is low, but he's not dying. But that double kill, that was absolutely perfect. And here is still Shrimpy on his Zeratul copy, not able to get a lot of damage in. He was trying to go for ADRD again, but not getting that chance. Really, really well played here. I'm absolutely loving this, especially the engage that we saw with the Sundering was great. Using that Sundering down here at the wall, trapping 2 heroes, killing both of them was extremely well executed. Shrimpy is slugging away at the top as he now realizes that we have also a situation where ADRD could try and go for him again. And having at the bot lane, the temple under full control of BKB now, and that of course starts to pressure the mid lane in a couple of seconds now as well. Besides that, Muradin is still taking the top, but I've been talking about that boss a little bit earlier, and the Sandwich Monkeys are trying to go for it. They have a level 13 talent now with the Unfettered Assault taken. Double Spell Shield already. But it is again a 5 versus 5. A problem is that we still see the ultimate evolution down for another 4 seconds. It will soon be ready though. Mighty Gust is there too. Where's the Gust? There it is, and they take that boss. Nice move. Good timing here. Great timing actually. Very good timing that we have on the side of the Sandwich Monkeys now with this one. So it's 13 versus 13. They jump in against Jaina. Ice block used. Goodbye Quacknix. Yeah, Wolf's currently jumping in the wolf form, going for the wong, going for the throat if you so want, and taking them down. Abathur still has to make that decision. I've been talking about the 2 choices that he has in this game with his level 13 and his level 16 talent, and he still has to make that choice. Is it going to be the lane pressure, or will we see them with the support for melee assassins like Zeratul? One of the 2 depends a bit on the way they want to play this. If they go for Abathur and with lane pressure, they're going to try and play around team fights a bit more. If they go for the immediate support of any kind of like attack, then of course they're going to try and dominate the team fights. Zarmany at the top lane is soaking more of those shots now, and that is starting to drop the next couple of structures. 14 against 13, and it is going to be the Bombardment Strain taken out. So Bombard Strain has been claimed. Abathur is going to go for the Locust Brood on level 16. And again, Breeze in a bit of trouble. Could we see a Sundering? We could, but not using it yet. They get the last few hits on the temple. And yeah, they get all of them. Nice, the Void Prism here. Whoa! Great Void Prism. They go for the throat again. Wolves is there. Double Jaina. But the kill against Zeratul. And now up at the top, we are seeing again Smexy. Super low. Has to heal himself. Breeze is trying to get back to the Sandwich Monkeys again in full force here. The copy on Jaina is already down. Can they go for another lockdown here? Doesn't look like they can really chase them. But they got 2 kills. They got the kills against the Abathur copy and the kill against Zeratul himself. And that puts them into a great spot where they can once again dominate the map here. And seeing is still an attempt to go for Johanna. Wow. Quacknix, Smexy, and Breeze, they had the vision thanks to the Watchtower. They were trying to use that. But now, of course, there's still no boss up on the map. But there are a couple of camps that you can take. So they can go in, can try and take these camps away. We're still seeing, for example, over here the mercenary camp. Zarmany's already headed towards it. Then we have still at the bottom of the map 2 of the Siege Giant camps that could also be claimed. Abathur is starting to lose a few of those toxic nests on the map. They are going to be back, of course, in a couple of minutes. We have 15 versus 16 in just a few moments. And nice lane pressure now thanks to the camps that have been taken. But Fnatic is trying to do the same thing. In terms of kills, 6 against 3. And the Sandwich Monkeys with a very, very solid move here overall. They could even try to steal this one away, but not quite happening. And also, like, we had everybody for Fnatic just, like, moving around, trying to stay in the vicinity so that they could react to it. The thing is, though, that we have that level 16 talent. And once again, I mean, when we're talking 16, then we're looking at the Concentrated Blast, the Circle of Life. We're having a Blood for Thrall, and we're seeing also the Holy Renewal now taken on Johanna, which is going to make her life a bit easier thanks to the hit points that she's going to get back after every shield glare. Falstad with the hammer time, very likely we're going to see that. Here comes the Locust Brood that we already talked about. Northern Exposure now taking over the Numbing Blast on the side of Jaina and the Rising Storm. 16 versus 16 talents, Temple active in 2, And well, with that, they can start to try and get those shots again. And this is starting to really be the time where we are addressing keeps and not forts anymore. Top lane has to be bursted away first of all, though. They don't really want to risk losing structures to that mercenary camp, so they start to do that before they move in. And now it's once again the attempt to like look for a good sundering opportunity to go in and get the kill against maybe Jaina, against maybe Zeratul, depending on who they find first. But they start to take the shots over. The temple is theirs right now. Damage down here. Athero moves away. Zarmany so far without his ult. No ults have been used in this entire fight. And the shrine, the temple, is in the hands of the team in red. They're going for it once again. Zarma, oh my god, ADRD nearly down. The palm is good, but again, Sport Billy under pressure. Here comes the Sundering, and they have the Void Prism ready. And now the setup for Fnatic. They can go for the kills here. Zarmany is already low. The kill maybe. Go for the throw. They're jumping in. Wolves is on the move. He tries to go for Jaina, the double Jaina with all that burst damage. Look at Smexy, how low he is, and he already healed himself with the ancestral healing. But still, the fight is not over yet. Both of the teams still committed to it. Bot lane, by the way, is getting pushed by a Siege Giant camp in the meantime for Fnatic, doing some solid work, and Abathur is here as well, dropping the Locusts and immediately moving back, but the fight in the mid lane is lost, and therefore they have to retreat for now. Giving you a bit of an update here on damage overall. I mean, siege damage we see so far still Jaina mostly with 76,000, but Abathur is starting to get those damage numbers up to. He's on 60k. We have in terms of like hero damage, Thrall doing a very solid job, and Abathur, of course, with him just like dropping those nests everywhere and also jumping with the symbiote into the fights. He's currently at 34,000 himself. Again, Zeratul is ready, together with Breeze. They're waiting for a chance. Oh, there's the vision. Yeah, good dash from Sport Billy. That level 4 talent adjustment with Foresight is really helping them out here. It's that boss that both of the teams are very worried about right now. If your opponent takes this one, then you might be in trouble. We have, by the way, 28, 29 season marksman stacks already on Falstad, so he's starting to get some serious damage in as well. We currently have him in damage at 19,000, but again, it's very different damage here, especially, of course, with that auto attacks against Muradin after that 13 talent once more. So, that being said, Athera Angel, he's still poking a little bit with the Rending Cleave. Oh, he's in cooldown and he's dead. Great jump. And now they can go maybe even for Smexy. I'm not able to lock him down here. But that was actually a very nice move. He was trying to get away there, but they knew that, of course, there was the cooldown still active, and therefore a quick lockdown and that burst. Mighty Gust is still ready. That means that they can use it to secure that boss. It's a 5 versus 4. A copy on Jaina, not used yet. Where is Abathur? He's trying to help out. There's the Jaina copy. Jaina copy is in. Mighty Gust already used. They try to go for Breeze. Breeze is about to fall. The hammer time locks him down with a mini stun. Schwimpy also about to lose his copy. And that's 2 heroes down. Yeah, Schwimpy's still alive for another few seconds, but in the end he's gonna fall. And now the question, do they go for boss? I doubt it, because we have 2 of those temples up, and they can simply claim both of them. There's 38 more seconds that we're seeing on Muradin until he's gonna be back, so that's all the time in the world. Schwimpy again moving away, jumping on lane, dropping the Locusts, moving away immediately. First of those temples is about to be taken in the middle. Nobody moving to the bottom. Once again, Zeratul is a big threat with that Abathur, so they don't want to have heroes alone on the map. Oh, Athero needs to be careful here. Had to drop the Void Prism. Very annoying if that actually happens. Void Prism down. It's one of the strongest heroics that we have here right now. So it's very annoying for them that they had to already use that just for defensive purposes and couldn't use it as a setup. That means they're at least going to lose the temple at the top. At the bot lane, we still have the camps going up against each other, but this is going to be the next focus points for both of the teams. So pressure against the keeps, and the keep in the mid lane is already down. The one at the top is now starting to be attacked. Abathur again jumping to the top, doing his thing. A bit of contention in the middle happening now, but the temple has been nearly soaked. The last 5 shots actually go to Fnatic. But there's still a fort alive. Still a fort in the mid lane. Falstad taken down. Whoa, that double Jaina damage really bursting them away. And again, BKB gets palmed and moves away right now. It's Sport Billy with great moves, but can they get the kill? It doesn't look like it. Ancestral Healing is keeping Breeze alive on his Muradin. Wolves jumps in. Karazim is down, and so is Greymane. Wow. Fnatic, they looked like they would lose a lot, but now they can go for boss, or they can try to go for the bottom keep immediately. Are they going to try to go through that wall? Not with Thrall still alive. So they go for boss instead. That's the chance for Fnatic to really start that comeback here. this is actually a moment where they can shine. They have the level 20 ability now with a Hive Mind, with a double rewind on Rega and Zeratul, and we have Bolt of the Storm for Jaina, Hardened, a rewind as well for Muradin, double Storm Bolt, and yes, there's the boss now. So overall, Fnatic's situation has all of a sudden changed. They got 3 kills in that last fight, and that's just catapulted them from 8 kills against 3 to 8 kills against 6. So they are looking extremely strong at that bot lane with that boss now. They don't even take the temple. Instead, they're just saying, hey, we can take this anyways. There's 10 seconds on Greymane until he's back. So if we push this in and we take the temple on the way back, we get extra damage against the mid lane too. But before that, the structural advantage was amazing for the Sandwich Monkeys. Now, on the other hand, Fnatic is really starting to turn this game around, but 20 versus 20 is going to make their life a little bit harder, and with those 20 talents, the Storm talents, we have now the Hunter's Blunderbuss. We're seeing also again Storm Shield taken, Indestructible. That's great for Janna, keeping her alive a little bit more. Bolt of the Storm for Thrall, and Epic Mount. AD is he going to try and use Epic Mount here? No, they're not. They have to take down the boss first, and that's what they do. So still, they are starting to move down to the bottom. Oh, there is a trap attempt. And yes, a Zero, Breeze, they're all here. Again, the vision, thanks to the foresight being used. But they are moving down to the bottom to try to get those soaks in. And of course, heroic abilities, they're all up. So this is going to be another one of these important team fights here. And so far, they have been dominated by the Sandwich Monkeys. And Fnatic is starting to abandon the temple. They don't want to risk anything now, and they go for BKB. That might not be the best target here for them. Indestructible has not been procced yet. The heals are there, but BKB is starting to drop low, and therefore they don't have a frontline anymore. But once that Shrimpy's copy is over, this is going to be a completely different fight. The copy is gone, and this is the time to engage. Even with a Hive Mind, you want to wait until that copy is eliminated, and once the copy is down, immediately the move towards that temple. 37 Season Marksman stacks on AD, by the way, to give you a bit of an update. We're currently having, in terms of regeneration stacks, 14 for Zeratul. Not really a whole lot. Zeratul currently with only 14 Regeneration Master stacks. That's a bonus health regeneration of 21. So in this game, that didn't really pay off for him. Falstad had to go up to the top, and that means that down to the bottom of the map, it's a 4 versus 4 with Abathur helping out, so making it nearly 5. Oh, the heal! That Void Prison barely saving Ethereal Angel. Great move, but AD is back thanks to the Epic Mount, and he is putting the pressure on Ethereal, who's nearly... Oh, Sarmony with a blink forward, and they kill the Sandwich Monkeys. They take down Zeratul, and they try to go now for a kill against the rest of the setup, but they can't chase them down. Great play here once again. The Epic Mount allows Falster to jump back down. He does that, and then they get the kill with a quick blink attack on Zarmony. Very aggressive stance here, and that's of course an opportunity to again go for the camps. The game 20 minutes in, 1 keep down on both sides. So from a structural point of view, nearly even, but of course the tower is destroyed up at the top here. We're still seeing everybody just moving away as the 2 Siege Giants are making their way to the bot lane to push that. Another camp already about to be taken, and I mean Fnatic is doing the same thing. Both of the sides need to claim those mercenaries. It's really just like a positional thing right now. We're not really in a situation yet where a team can try to play around the opponent by using mobility and claim a shrine, or like go for a boss or even drop the core itself and attack it, but we're still looking at team fights. Both of the teams have to team fight right now. AD later on can use his mobility, if that's the case, to maybe even go for an attack on the core. Together with Zeratul, he has that opportunity. Zeratul, of course, on the other team with that Abathur. And double Zeratul against the core can actually like drop quite a lot of hit points. So that's one of the risks later. Oh, the burst against BKB doesn't proc Indestructible just yet. So still he is alive with that. That would have been, that would have been a devastating loss there. But at least it was Johanna face-checking the bush here. I mean, of course, in some of those bushes you just can't shield everything. But if you move in like this, then at least let the tank go first, and that's what they did. So they had good positioning here going into that, and they didn't really lose anybody. BKB can be healed up again. He didn't even proc his Indestructible, so everything is just like absolutely fine for him. But now the temples are going to be active again, and of course that's going to result in a team fight one way or another. Uh-oh, Muradin is very much alone here, but Ethereal goes straight for AD. Is he going to try and jump in again? He's not, but AD has to be healed again. There's a lot of pressure against AD. That Falstad has to be careful. At 43 extra damage, by the way. Shrimpy jumps in, double Zeratul, copy down, copy down. No copy for Fnatic, and that is just as the temples are being announced. Uh-oh, that might have been a mistake there. Losing Zeratul copy this early is definitely a huge problem for them now. At this point, it's... Oh, and that's why they're threatening core. They actually start to threaten the bot lane. They try to go for a bit of a base race. They try to go to threaten their core. And there's, of course, Falstad. Falstad needs to get away. Mighty Gust! ADR is still alive, but here comes the Sundering. They go in and from behind Johanna. Johanna moving in from behind. They go for Quacknix on his Jaina, and goodbye Jaina. She needs to die right now. Oh my god, they don't finish her. They go for Zeratul instead. Now still the attempt to go for Jaina. Breeze is also low, and BKB is still cutting off the path of retreat. Here comes the copy on Shrimpy with a double Muradin, but BKB is trying to go straight for Breeze again. I cannot believe that they only lost Zeratul. It looked like Jaina was already dead. BKB can fly in again, and he does it. He flies in. He is nearly bursted away by Quacknix, but there's the kill, and that's the double kill that they've been waiting for. Now maybe the chance to go for boss again. They have the Mighty Gust up once more. This is the chance for the Sandwich Monkeys to make it a 2-0 victory. Two Temples are still alive, getting boss now, taking down Muradin. That would be win, and it is. They get Muradin, and they start to fly in against Abathar. Abathar Gust, and he goes for the slap, but now 4 heroes are down. Of course, they knew that losing boss would nearly close out the game, and therefore they had to try and do something here. But this is now the Sandwich Monkeys going for victory. 50 season marksman stacks by now on the side of ADR's Falstad, and it's going to be an easy win. Void Prison is on cooldown, cannot slow this down. This is going to be GG, and we have the Sandwich Monkeys with a victory against Fnatic here in the loser bracket of the End of the Storm. Great play, and we're going to see the Sandwich Monkeys now go up against TeamLiquid. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is GG and the end of another series here on KhaldorTV with Heroes of the Storm. So once again, we have another video finished, and I hope that you enjoyed the commentary and that you liked the game, of course, as well. It was a pleasure casting the match for you. And if you guys really enjoyed it, then make sure that you give that video a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, feel free to do that too. If you have friends that are interested in Heroes of the Sports esports scene, then definitely recommend the channel to them, or just show them the video if they want to see like a bit how the pros are drafting here, especially of course when it comes to the North American scene, European scene. And I mean, these days we even have a couple of Chinese games on the channel here, so I hope that you enjoy that as well. That being said, thank you very much for watching again. I'm going to see you guys next time with more Heroes of the Storm content here on the channel. Have a great day and enjoy your week, and see you soon. Bye bye.